All right, guys, welcome back to Pretentious Cinephile 1982. This is a top 5 Spider-Man movies episode, and I'm your host, the titular Pretentious Cinephile, Joseph Ngo, here with a special guest of mine, friend of a close personal friend of mine, Stephen, Miss Amber. Amber, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for taking such a late call. I know you're calling from Vegas there, so thank you for taking my call and talking with me about Spider-Man.
Of course. And again, I was Steven's friend. You want to talk about, we had a lot of late nights together. So,
Hmm.
you know, I'm used to late nights. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Stephen Bess, of course, my co-host from the past episodes of Laser Boy, and we had a 3-episode series talking about one dedicated for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, one dedicated to the Amazing Spider-Man, and then one dedicated to all the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man. So, needless to say, suffice to say, Steven and I were huge Spider-Man fans. He's obviously the Marvel buff from way back, and so I'm glad to be talking about Spider-Man with a close personal friend of his. And what's your relationship, if you can tell us about your relationship with Spider-Man and Marvel movies?
Honestly, I've just always been a fan of, fantasy, action, science fiction and everything. I think all of those kind of fall into the realm of the Marvel films, superhero films, there's lots of fun. I think Spider-Man is probably, honestly, in my opinion, one of the best and funnest superheroes that on the Marvel roster, which, is, not hard, which is hard to say because there are so many great heroes, but I think that Spider-Man has a real connection, especially to, dare I say, the nerds of the world, because he's so smart, and I really like the new Tom Holland ones because it really gets back into like the Spider-Man mythos of him being, nerdy at the beginning. I hope that answers your question.
No, absolutely, yeah. Would you say Spider-Man is one of your favorite Marvel characters?
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. I think in a little bit convoluted way. Yeah, I would definitely say he's one of my favorites. I mean, who doesn't want to go swinging by ropes through the city, New York State? I mean, New York City,
Yeah, absolutely. And he's very like grounded. He's not like so kind of fantastical. Like he's not like a billionaire genius. Like something you can relate to. He's just a kid, right? He's just got these powers, and he's
exactly.
your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man kind of thing, and he just happened to get powers, right? So he's not, he's not Batman, the billionaire playboy. He's not like all these characters that are just so, unbelievable, right? But
yeah, he's a little innocent, but like in a good way,
Sure.
Like he hasn't really been truly corrupted. I mean, that his true guilt comes when depending on the version, he loses his aunt or his aunt slash uncle.
Yeah.
But yeah, he really just wants to be a good person. He wants to be a good hero. He wants to help people.
Absolutely.
So, and like you said, grounded. I feel like we can all see a bit of ourselves in Peter.
Yes. Thank you. Just a quick structure recap. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man: Brand New Day, the 4th MCU Spider-Man film, and then right after that, of course, there's probably going to be spoilers for that as we talk about Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and then right after that, we're going to get into our top 5 Spider-Man films from 5 to 1, and that encompasses all of Into the Spider-Verse, the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man in our top 5 lists, and then that should be it. So let me ask you, Amber, what did you think? And there's going to be spoilers, so you could talk about specific plot details, specific characters if you want. You don't have to worry about being spoiler free, whatever. You know what I mean. But what did you think of Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Amber?
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yes.
I thought it was excellent. I personally find, just in general, that with Marvel films, as much as I enjoy the Avengers, I think Marvel really excels in their solo films when they just focus on like one superhero or two superheroes. And so I felt that they did a real. I mean, I really liked it. I wish I could explain more. You know, I hadn't really thought about it, but it just it gave me those old school Marvel films that I was looking for.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we see the Marvel films and we're like, oh, it just didn't quite hit like it used to. And Brand New Day got me in the films. So,
Sure.
like, you know, because that's what we go. We go for the fun, we go for the action, but we stay for the films, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you hit it right in the head. I think, like you said, the popular consensus seems to be that Marvel's kind of been falling off. Last year was a particularly critically panned year, but with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, I personally liked Thunderbolts a lot. Brave New World.
I really like Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So too.
Yeah. But then now, you know, the big guns are out this year, right? Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday. I feel like Spider-Man No Way Home is different from the Home trilogy insofar as it feels a little darker, right? It feels like Peter Parker's like a bit more emotional, right? He's down from the mind wipe that Doctor Strange did to the entire world, and you know, MJ and Ned are no longer know who Peter Parker know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right? So he has to deal with this kind of like loneliness and almost like depression for the whole movie. So I feel like in that way it's very different from the other peppier, zestier, like John Hughes Homecoming and National Lampoon's European Vacation of Far From Home. And but I do feel like No Way Home got a bit dark as well. But did you feel that way too? Did you feel it was a little different from the other 3 MCU Spider-Man films?
Yeah, you know, and I think that, like, you know, a lot of films have, like, a main motif. And the thing is that with, like, you know, No Way Home, Brand New Day, and No Way Home, he lost everything. You know, that was the loss.
Yeah.
Because he didn't just lose, like, we didn't see the fallout of the memories. We saw, like, a small scene at the end, you know, of him thinking about giving her the cup with the message in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then deciding not to. But I think a big part of that is the fact that his aunt died.
Yes.
And we finally got that iconic line that affects Parker, you know, with, you know, great power comes great responsibility on her, you know, as she passed away. And I think, excuse me, I'm having a bit of a frog in my throat today.
Oh, it's okay. Take your time.
And so I think that, you know, Brandon, like, it was much darker because, you know, like No Way Home was getting dark, but, you know, Brandon, we're seeing him, you know, it's No Way Home becoming, sorry.
Brand New Day.
But, yeah, it's, you know, he's trying to get back what he lost, and he just can't.
Yes.
You know, he can't get his aunt back. She is dead, you know. He can't, you know, tell his new friend because he's afraid he'll, you know, endanger him.
Yeah.
And when, you know, and when MJ finally finds out, you know, she's like, that's not who I am anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and so he thinks he can fix everything, but he realizes he can't, you know. And so I think it's, you know, like just a darker tone for the past 2 in that general region.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Very good point. I was looking at a meme on Reddit, and it showed talking about like the logistics of all the studios coming together for this, like, you know, Punishers from Netflix, Florence Pugh's Black Widow's from Marvel Studios, right? Hulk is from Universal, and Jean Grey's from Fox, right? And then Spider-Man's from Sony. It's kind of a miracle that this movie came together from all these different competing studios. But I get, you know, they're all under one banner now because, you know, Disney owns everything. But it's kind of insane to think about that, don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, it's insane that they did such a good job and got Spider-Man because that was such a huge IP for Sony.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yes.
But I mean, like, it took them how long to get X-Men again?
Right.
You know, like, I mean, they were in legal battles. I'm sure that once it became Disney, they were just like, how much money can we get out of it now?
Sure, yeah. Well, they have to recoup all their investments back from buying all these studios, right? So, yeah, I mean, from a logistical point of view, like from studios' point of view, it's kind of crazy that it all came together. What do you think of how they integrated Bruce Banner and Hulk into this movie?
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was. I thought. I mean, like, I liked it, but like, it's been a few weeks since I've seen it.
Yeah. Me too.
And so, like, I'm trying to remember exactly, how it happened. I mean, it seemed good, but it also kind of, it's just like, oh, we need to have the Hulk in here, kind of, to do all this damage and everything.
I see. You felt he was a little shoehorned in?
Maybe a little bit. I just,
okay.
I liked the aspect of it,
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like the Hulk was kind of holding back, but I think that's kind of the point, a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that part of him knew it was Peter or something like that? Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering. Like, what did you think? Like, I feel like I need like a refresher. What did you think?
Yeah, I think Peter Parker comes to Professor Banner for help about isolating some kind of the bad parts of what he's going through. He's going through some kind of like spider metamorphosis, right? So
that's right. I remember. I just forgot that he was that he came to see him because he was like, I need to stop this, like change.
Yeah, I should have recapped some of that for you. My apologies, but
no. Like, I should have remembered.
It's okay. Yeah. No, it's not your responsibility to. I'm the host. I should have led with that, but no, I felt like in a way it was a little like they're holding their punches, like, but. I was expecting something bigger, like, because I'm a big Reddit theory guy. I always go on to, like, MCU theories and stuff like that. Oh, you too? Okay, great.
What was your theory? I want to hear your theory.
Oh, awesome. Well, I used to do that with Steven all the time. He used to just, like, him and I were like, oh, what's going to happen here? Of course, he read all the comics, so he would have to, like, kind of be on pins and needles and say, like, oh, this could happen, or this could not happen. You know what I mean? So I always told them like to try not to spoil things for me because I'm not a comic book reader, and I like to be surprised when I watch a movie. So, but I was expecting for it to be a little bit bigger because I knew Peter Parker and Bruce Banner had never shared screen time together on the MCU. So I was expecting this big theory from the Reddit to take place, which was. This is just a theory, and it didn't come to fruition in the movie, but the theory was that Bruce Banner, as the Hulk, inadvertently killed Peter's parents in the Battle of New York City in the Avengers.
Oh, damn.
So I was expecting something big like that, something like a big drama, like bombshell, and then like that didn't happen. So that's just my fault coming into it with like these huge expectations, like grand, like, you know what I mean? But in that sense, I was like a little underwhelmed by the character. But what we got was great, like that fight, like that splash panel of them like fighting in the building, and then like Punisher like just like full on, assault rifling in his face. That was like straight out of a comic splash page, right? So
I love that though. That's such a good scene.
Right. Spider-Man was like, "What are you gonna do? This is the Hulk. You're like, it's way past your pay grade there, Frank." Right?
Yeah. But to me, his character so enduring. The Punisher was that no matter what, even when he knew that he was outclassed, he was gonna be there.
Yeah. What did you? I feel like. I don't. Did you watch the Punisher series on Netflix and when he was on Daredevil and all that stuff?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, he's a completely different character. So he's like, there's a film on Disney Plus that came out before Brand New Day called Punisher: One Last Kill.
Mm-hmm.
And in that show or movie, I guess it's like a one shot, 45 minutes, and He basically is like R-rated Punisher. He like kills like 400 people. I'm probably exaggerating,
No, I
obviously.
feel like the Punisher should be killing like 400 people.
Yeah, the title is One Last Kill, but it's like one last like hundreds of kills. It should have been, but yeah, it is definitely different. So it's kind of like a shock to see him like PG-13ized for this movie.
Right.
But I guess they explained it as Spider-Man saved Punisher's life on Staten Island. But yeah, I was half expecting. Do you watch the Daredevil series at all, Amber?
I know of it.
Okay.
I've seen like a few episodes, but I haven't really watched it lately or dedicated myself to it.
Okay, okay, no problem. Basically, Daredevil's in prison right now, and I thought like he would have a cameo in the movie, as he did in I think it was No Way Home, I believe.
Yeah.
He was like Peter Parker's lawyer or something, right? After he was revealed to be Spider-Man or something like that. Oh, it was the whole Mysterio thing at the beginning of that. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Punisher. Yeah, I think the Punisher was fine. It's a good way to. It's the Odd Couple, right?
Yeah.
Frank's like the killer, and like they're completely opposite philosophies, right? Like Spider-Man's like morally pure, right? And Frank's like, by any means necessary, I will take out this criminal, right?
Well, I think like I said earlier that Peter Parker in some ways is kind of innocent.
Yes.
And the Punisher is not in any way innocent. So like Peter's always like, oh, we can just knock them out, or we can make it so like they cannot fight back or whatever like we need to do, but we don't kill them.
Yes,
and the Punisher's like the quickest fix is a shotgun shell to the head.
Yes, exactly. He's basically like a mass murderer with a heart of gold, Punisher, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's the anti-hero, right?
Yes. Last part of the last like significant part of Brand New Day is Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. What did you think of Jean Grey's introduction into the MCU?
I'd like to start this by just saying that Sadie Sink did an amazing job.
Yes.
I thought she was a really good Jean Grey.
Uh-huh.
But Jean Grey itself, while I did enjoy the story, I thought was an odd, I don't know, it was just an odd story to tell in a Spider-Man movie, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like it. I did enjoy it. But I remember my husband was kind of like off put by it, and he was just like, we came for a Spider-Man story, and now we have this Jean Grey's tale.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like, it was good, but it did, but it was also kind of like, well, that's not at all what I was expecting,
Yeah.
And I like to be surprised, but it was just such a surprise that I was kind of like, does this fit in this movie? Again, great movie, and it worked out, but it was an odd choice in my opinion.
Yeah. I hear your argument. I do feel like she does take over the third part, the third act of the film. But in a lot of ways, for like procedurals, the criminal of the week, usually their plight has something to do with the hero, right? It usually mirrors what they're going through. And I feel like in this aspect, that is the case here too, right? It's like she's going through this like trauma that Peter also just went through, right? Like the loss of a loved one. And then, but the way that to defeat it is through compassion, right? Like at the end of the film, when she enters his head, the death of May could easily have turned Spider-Man into like a villain, right? Into like a psychopathic, like he could have just went crazy, right? But it didn't. It grounded him. It made him like into a better person, right? So in a way, Jean Grey goes into his head and sees that, and then it kind of changes her as well, right? So I like that aspect of it, but I do agree with you. It did feel like really off-putting that that was kind of her origin story in the MCU. Because
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because from my understanding, from like the cartoons, I don't know about the comics because I haven't read them, and but even like the movies, Jean Grey is always like not so morally ambiguous. You know what I mean? She was always just like she did the right thing. She was under the tutelage of Professor X, and she was never like this dark, morally gray area. You know what I mean? So that was a little off putting for me, but. They might. I think that might be a sign of what they're going to do with the X-Men. They might be a little bit more edgy. You know what I mean? So, do you think that could be a hint of that?
I think that's really hard for me to say.
Yeah.
To be honest, as X-Men went on and we got like Logan and such, like Logan was very edgy.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you know? Like we saw Professor X, dealing with basically his going mad.
Yeah.
You know, and Logan was taking care of him, and and there's self-sacrificing and everything. So I mean, but it was popular, so I can definitely see them going a little, darker with it. Actually, that's a good question because I haven't actually looked at this up. Do you know when they're planning on doing the next X-Men, or at least having X-Men be in the next Marvel film?
They are casting right now, and I believe they just casted. Obsession actress Indy Neveretti as Rogue.
Okay.
So that's
that's really good.
Right, yeah, that's been big in the news right now, and I think they casted Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister. So a lot of big names. So I think at least 2028 we'll see an X-Men movie because I think after Secret Wars that's the end of Phase 6, and then that's when we're going to get into the mutant saga. So, but going back to Spider-Man, I do feel like the first 3 MCU Spider-Man, this has been a huge talking point in all of those films is that he wasn't really. I mean, they were called Spider-Man, right? The Spider-Man's in the title, but he was always kind of like took a back seat to somebody, right? Like in Homecoming, he was Tony Stark's protege, right? And then in Far From Home, it was more Mysterio, and No Way Home, it was like a team-up movie with all the other 3 Spider-Men, and team up with Doctor Strange. So it was never really... He didn't really have any agency for his own movie. That's been the complaint of all the other 3 movies. So I feel like this movie does a good job of... He really is in charge of everything now, right? He's obviously still using Stark tech and, like, talking to the AI and having that... AI solve all the problems for him and all that stuff, even though he's like a really super genius scientist type. But did you feel that way as well? Like, did you feel he had more autonomy in this movie than as...
I didn't really think about it, but now that you mention it, that is very, very true, know? And I think that goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier about him, how it was a darker film a bit, And, like, this is the first time he's really on his own.
Yes.
He's always had somebody to rely on, even if it was just his friends, and now he doesn't even have them.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to move on, but is there anything else you want to say about Brand New Day? Amber?
Not that I can think of, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I could say, but, on the spot, I'm a little, lost for words and whatnot. I wish that we could talk to Steven about this.
Me too.
Yes. Theories and whatnot. Yeah.
That's my wish every day. But okay. What I do feel like it's missing, like you said that it felt like going back to the, the old, like vintage Spider-Man. He has the old suit again, and he's like swinging through New York again and all that stuff. I do feel like one thing that's missing that makes it like that sets it, that keeps it from being like this vintage iconic Spider-Man is him being a photographer and the Daily Bugle and J. Jonah Jameson, right?
Yes.
That's the only thing that's missing from making it like the iconic Spider-Man, right? But I guess they're saving that for future movies. Who knows? But yeah, hopefully we get some J. Jonah Jameson soon because I love that guy.
Well, me too. I mean, like, sorry, I keep forgetting my words.
It's
in the
okay.
games because I played the
Oh
video
yeah,
games.
yeah.
And I know they're a little bit different, but they always like have like Spider-Man has like social media.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, he
Yeah,
posts
yeah.
about the things that he does on social media, and
Right,
there's
right.
also tweets from James Jameson, talking about the Spider Menace, and whatnot. I
Oh,
think that's cool. I kind of wish we had seen something like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
some sort of like use of technology that we have
Sure,
nowadays.
yeah. He'd probably be more of like a social media, like journalist. He'd be like a Twitter, be a social media. He'd be more on social media, pretty much, right? So, but yeah, I guess that would detract because if yeah, J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle, it'd be more like an upbeat movie, and this is more of like he's in his, like you said, his feels, and he's more emo, so that would have detracted from that, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be like a tabloid, I imagine.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's move on. That was our thoughts on Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Seems like we both
I,
liked it a lot.
one thing I do have one thing to add about that.
Sure, sure.
So one thing I wish I'd seen, this isn't just in Brand New Day, this is like in all of them, right? Is I wish I had kind of seen a bit more suit tech. And
Oh
I
yeah,
know that at one point in Brand New Day, he doesn't have the suit anymore, and
yeah.
it's old school. But even in the other films, like in the first film, it was all about him like learning about his powers, and we went through his suit, and he had like 500 different web attacks,
Oh
and I was
yeah.
hoping to see those in the
Okay.
other films.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. No, you know what I think? I
You
don't
know,
know this 100%. I don't know what the details are. I'm pretty sure we could scour Reddit and find an answer, but I do believe that he still retained some of the Stark tech, but he just kind of like what's the word? He like jimmied it, or like he kind of customized it himself to make it his own,
yeah.
because he's still talking to like an AI. I forgot what the AI was named. I know it's voiced by Naomi Watts.
Was it like Evie or something like that, or like?
It was like Friday, or yeah, it was like, yeah, it's like a EV. It's a, here I'm looking at the wiki. Naomi Watts voices
Okay,
EV, Parker's AI assistant. Okay,
Evie. Okay.
EV, yeah, EV. Okay. But yeah, you know they pretty much chalk it up to Peter Parker's a genius. He jimmied the suit. It's his tech now.
Yeah. Which is another thing, like like making sure that, like, as you said, like takes agency.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Shall we get into our top 5 films from 5 to 1?
For five being the best or five being the worst?
5 being, number 1 is your best. So, but we're revealing them from 5 to 1. So we, save the best for last.
Sure.
You should start with your number 5. We'll go each. We'll reveal both of our 5s and so on and so forth. Or do you want to just
Um,
reveal all yours at one
I,
at one time?
I didn't list them as much as I should have. But
Do
I
you,
know like my top like three or whatnot.
okay.
I'd say that definitely probably number five is probably Far, no Way Home.
Yeah. Any reason why?
So
It's
I think it's really fun.
yeah.
I do feel like it's I like all the Tom Hollands. So
Yes.
three of my top five are going to be the Tom Holland films.
Same here.
Yeah, and I think like a lot happens in that one. We've already been introduced. We got our stride with Spider-Man. But to be honest, like I almost feel like Brand New Day and No Way Home are like one film, just split into two parts.
Which one? Oh, No Way Home and Brand New Day. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I meant Far From No Way Home and Brand New Day. Like
Yes.
they're almost like one film split into two
Oh,
because
okay. I
like
didn't think
they
about that.
rely on each other so heavily.
Yes,
You
you're right.
know,
You're right. Yeah, because
the whole plot
because
where
the events of
yeah,
No Way Home. You're right. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's definitely a top five, but like I said, like it's not my favorite, But I always enjoy watching it. I like Doctor Strange, and I think it's a fun team up for them,
Okay, great.
and they do, yeah.
What's your number 4? We'll just have you list all your top 5, and then I'll list mine. I think that'll be easier.
Number four is probably competing with Number 3. Number 4 probably is the very first Tobey Maguire film.
Oh yes, brilliant.
Yes, I just you know, for one reason alone, and that's William Dafoe.
Ah, yeah, as Goblin.
Yes, as Green Goblin. He is such a good Green Goblin.
Oh my god.
And like, it just wouldn't be the same without him.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a huge William Dafoe fan. And I just watched this recently, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, great.
I watched it. You know, and like, we were just like, my husband and I were just talking about like how like iconic he is, and I also realized that like this was a Sony film, and or you know, Avi Arad and Sam Raimi and whatnot.
Yes.
But at the same time that they were doing the Spider-Mans, they started doing Fantastic Four, and they were doing the X-Men films. And especially with Fantastic Four, I think that, you know, like with the really big disappointment with it was Galactus. And the new Fantastic Four is a great Galactus, but the Galactus in the, you know, old Sony Fantastic Four was just this formless creature that they had to fight.
Sure.
And it was still a fun film, but like a lot of people were kind of disappointed by the villain. I feel that, you know, there's been some disappointment similarly with the X-Men films as well. Yeah. And you know, I feel that with Spider-Man, the Green Goblin was like the perfect villain for him. And it worked really well. And it was something that they hadn't quite achieved, I felt like, in their other superhero films. But they achieved it perfectly in Spider-Man.
Right. It's pretty much Green Goblin and Kingpin that are like the iconic Spider-Man villains of all of his the rogues gallery of villains. But he's like, you know, the Joker to his Batman, right? So I would say Green Goblin is one of the most iconic Spider-Man villains. That's great. Yeah, no, I can't hate on that. What's your number 3?
Probably Homecoming.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, I really liked Homecoming. I think it was a great, you know, like origin story. I feel again like the Marvel does really good on their solo stories and especially their origin stories. Yeah. And this was really Spider-Man's origin story. It was fun with Robert Downey Jr. You know, seeing him take him under his wing. Yes. You know, it really you know brought back Robert Downey Jr. in a very humanized way. You know, the connection was, you know, adorable between them and everything. And I have like, and then the because like Happy is having a relationship with his aunt. Yeah. Which is just so cute, you know. And it's also where we get to meet his new version of his aunt, as opposed to the Tobey Maguire version. Yeah. You know, where she's like young and fun, which makes so much more sense, because as much as I love Aunt May and Tobey Maguire, she's a sweet little old lady. I'm like, why is she so old?
She's
like,
she's an octogenarian.
It's his mom's sister, not his grandmother.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so I really like the new Aunt May. I think she's fun. She's, you know, she's very relatable. You know. Yeah. And I love her little relationship with Happy and everything. But it's more second. I guess it's more the Mysterio movie, but okay. Still, solid. I think it's great. My favorite scene is definitely the last scene where the Parker's like, "Oh, this is just like a test, right? Like, there's no reporters out there, you know." Yeah. And he's like, "I know, this is just a test," and Iron Man's like, "Yeah, sure, it's a test." And then like pause, like, "What are we going to tell the reporters?"
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was a great ending. Solid choice. Homecoming is your number 3. Let's get into your number 2, shall we?
A Brand New Day.
It's a Brand New Day. Wow,
really
I did not see that
really
coming. Okay, wow, excellent.
It's really fun.
Is it is it more recency bias, or you just really like it?
I mean, it probably is somewhat with the recency. You know, I get a little like ADHD, and I get obsessed with things that are current in my life. Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, I could maybe exchange it with some of the other Spider-Mans. Like, you know, it's been a little while since I've seen them, but like, it hit a lot of good spots for me. It's definitely a film I'll see again. I mean, I'd see watch any of them again, but when Brand New Day comes out, I'll definitely watch it again. And buy it probably in DVD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But it was just, again, I did feel weird about the Jean Grey thing as a concept, but they did a really good job with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And again, like as you said, like this is his first movie where it's just him and the agency.
Yes. Okay.
So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid choice so far. I'm very curious to know what your number 1 is.
That would be Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse.
Wow. Okay. So the first one, the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Okay. Please tell me what you love so much about this film.
From the beginning, the animation was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm always a fan of new immersive animation styles. We're so inundated with the same style, so it was just so fresh and so new and everything. We did have the spider bite, but everything else of Miles was different. He's from a different multiverse,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just really cool the story they took it into, because it was one that we had never seen before. In most of the universes there are the story beats, again, his aunt dying and uncle dying and being like, hey, great power comes great responsibility, and and like him being raised by his aunt and everything. And in this one, he actually has his parents, and his uncle is the villain. And there's always, and then he gets to meet the other Peter, and there's this beautiful little friendship, of them, is he helping Miles as Miles saving him?
Mm.
And getting over the way that the different stories can unfold. His MJ died,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think it was a different tale, but still felt like Spider-Man, and the animation itself was just phenomenal. I mean, plus it was so fun seeing all the other Spider-Man, right, which is the reason why I like the Far From Home or No Way Home so much, is because I love that. I love that Toby came back, and I loved that. And then we had Andrew Garfield as well.
Yes,
And one of my favorite villains is Doc Ock.
Uh-huh.
And if you notice, I didn't talk about Spider-Man 2, but at least we get to see him in No Way Home.
Yes,
so that's why I had to mention that one earlier too. I forgot to talk about the villains. Or the villains that become heroes. But yeah, so in the Miles Morales, we get to see a lot of different characters. It was, I really enjoyed. I love those kind of like what if sort of tales, which is a series I have watched, and Miles Morales kind of has that feel of like a what if.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Wow, excellent.
But yeah, it was really good. It was really fun. I just it's been a while since I've seen it. I'd like to watch it again, actually.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse in a while. Probably the last time I saw it was before to prepare for the last sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, I believe. Mm-hmm. So that was a great list. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Amber. Very solid. No complaints on any of your choices.
Thank you. I mean, all the Spider-Man films are good. There's not one I haven't disliked. There are ones that I don't like. I like Andrew Garfield as a Peter Parker, but I don't remember the films as well. They just weren't that memorable.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really a fan of Mysterio.
Yeah, I feel you.
I like the story outside of it with him and MJ and Ned and other things, but just
the trip.
Mysterio himself was a little.
Absolutely. So my list is not too dissimilar from yours. I feel like I have three films that overlap with yours. So let me just get them into it real quickly. Number 5 of mine is Spider-Man, the original Sam Raimi, just iconic Spider-Man and Green Goblin, right? The introduction of Tobey Maguire. Just, you can't go wrong with it. Number 4 of mine is No Way Home. Same reasons as you stated. I love all the other Spider-Man. I love like the team up aspect of it. Feels like such a heavy movie. You know, May dies. I talked about this a lot with Steven. I feel like this is their version of Sinister Six. I don't want to name all the villains, but if you think about it, the sixth person of the Sinister Six is J. Jonah Jameson, because he kind of like sets everything into motion. Like he's like an antagonist. He's like a, what do you call it? Like a, you know, someone who antagonizes, right? Instigator. He sets up all the conflict. Like he's always like, oh, Spider-Man's here. Like go after. You know what I mean? He's just like the instigator of that film, and I like thinking about that movie as like he is the sixth member of the Sinister Six. You know what I mean? So, my number 3 is Across the Spider-Verse. I love Into the Spider-Verse a lot, but I feel like the complaint with Across the Spider-Verse is it's too busy. It's like it's doing too much. There's so many things happening. But that's one of the things I love about it. It's just like it's so dense. There's like so many things going on, and that sequence where he's like running through all those like myriad of Spider-Men into like this weird, you know, I don't even know what you call it. It's just like some Twilight Zone version of like it's like a Spider-Man convention, right? And like he has to get out of there, and that's like a tour de force like sequence. I would always remember that for the rest of my life, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna wrap that up. And yeah, that style of animation is just like that's how you got to do it, right? That's what I'm talking about, right?
Exactly.
Number 2 for me is Spider-Man Homecoming. I feel like I love this origin story so much. This is like no offense to Andrew Garfield, you know, he did a great job. Didn't, you know, Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't super great, but we were clamoring for like a really good rendition of Spider-Man, and I feel like Homecoming like knocked it out of the park. And I feel like Vulture is one of my favorite villains just because his plight is just so relatable. He's just like this working class man who wants to provide for his family, and he got like robbed. He just got like the short end of the stick from like Stark and like damage control and all that stuff. So you really like relate to his plight, you know, and it's really hard to do for a villain. And for a lot of Marvel films, for me, I feel like they're as good as the villains are. You know what I mean? So, you know, Thanos, probably one of the greatest villains ever, right? So, but yeah, Homecoming, that's number 2 for me. And it's got that cool, like, John Hughes, 80s, Ferris Bueller kind of vibe to it, so...
yeah, I feel that.
Number 2 for me, not a surprise, probably in a lot of people's number 1 list. Spider-Man 2. It's like a masterpiece, like Sam Raimi's masterpiece Spider-Man film. Doc Ock, like he said. All the Doc Ock sequences are like a horror film sequence because of Sam Raimi, right? They echo this story a little bit in Brand New Day, which I really like. The idea that Spider-Man represses a feeling, an emotion so complicated like love that he loses his powers, right? And I believe that in Spider-Man 2, that was supposed to be the Spider-Man No More storyline where he like retires. So he represses his love for Mary Jane, right, in Spider-Man 2. So he can't like climb on walls, he can't shoot webs anymore. He you know, his eyesight worsens, right, and all that stuff. So he doesn't have muscles anymore, all you know. And then in Brand New Day, it's kind of the same thing. He's going through this metamorphosis, like, because he's suppressing this love that he has for MJ, right, kind of thing. Yeah. So I feel like they kind of recycled that, but in a good way. I believe they did a better job of that in Spider-Man 2, but Brand New Day had too much going for that to be the focal point of that film. So, but yeah, Spider-Man 2 is just like not only one of the best Spider-Man movies ever, but I feel like one of the best superhero movies, like hands down. You know what I mean? So I know it's a lot of hyperbole.
I thought about adding it to my list, but I actually just watched it last night.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, Doc Ock's so good," you know.
Right, but you have him. You said you he represents your place in No Way Home as well, so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And you know, it sucks that we don't have any Andrew Garfield movies in our list, but you know, No Way Home I feel like is in a way Amazing Spider-Man 3 point or 2.5 or whatever. It could be like
It's his redemption.
yes,
And he
yes,
kisses her.
it's his third Spider-Man movie in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like when he saves Mary Jane, when he saves MJ at the end at the Statue of Liberty. Come on, how can you not feel for that guy, right?
Yeah. It's like, cause he probably fought her,
Yes,
and yeah.
redemption. Oh, it's so heartwarming.
Yeah, it was a really good. I felt like none of them were done dirty, which
Yeah.
sometimes they do, and so like they represent them all really well.
All right, yeah, that's gonna do it for our top 5 Spider-Man films. It seems like it's very close.
Did you do your first? Did you give me your first?
Yeah, my number 1 was Spider-Man 2.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know, my mind is maybe because of Spider-Man 2. I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I kind of zipped. I kind of zipped through my list. I didn't want to take up too much time, and because I tend to pontificate especially when it comes to top 5 lists, and I have been recording these episodes on my own, just talking by myself in a room, so I sometimes forget that I need to save some space for my guest here, but. That's going to do it for our top 5 list. Let me ask you before we conclude and end the episode, where do you see Spider-Man going in the future? Like, did you stay for the credits of Brand New Day?
I did.
Yeah, it was kind of a lackluster stinger, right? But
yeah, can you remind me what happened exactly? I remember
it was Ned's Spider-Man app, and then we see Spider-Man pop up in space or something like that. He's like,
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was like such a lazy stinger, but also it's like, ooh, why is he in space? Right?
It feels like it might have something to do with the Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, I know that they're going to be, like, in the next film and everything,
Right.
And so, like, I just feel like, but maybe not. Like, maybe, I don't know. I thought about it at the time, but I didn't really have an answer. But did you have a theory? It was about, like you think that Spider-Man might be in space, and I just wanted to add something onto that before you answer. Like, when you think about it, like, Spider-Man can't breathe in space like some of the other superheroes can, so, like, someone had to give him a ship or something.
Right, yeah, a ship, or maybe he, found a solution in his mask, just like what Stark did in Infinity War, I guess, but... I can't really.
Yeah, it's like that makes a lot of sense.
Right. I can't really speculate because I don't, read the comics. But I do believe the only comic reference I know is that Spider-Man is a significant part of Secret Wars, and I do remember seeing like a cover of a Secret Wars like comic with the black suited Spider-Man. So he's maybe been under the influence of the what's that thing, the Venom thing called?
It's called Venom.
Yeah, it's called something. The symbiote.
Yeah.
So I believe it could have something to do with Venom, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to wait until next year. I don't think he's gonna.
We know that Venom was left there, which I thought was so funny when we finally saw that Venom was there, but he was like in freaking Mexico.
Oh, right. Yeah. At the end of No Way Home, right? Yeah, that was great. That was one of the greatest stingers ever. Yeah, absolutely. That was so good. But no, I think we're not going to see him in Doomsday because, well, if he is going to be, it's probably going to be a really big surprise at the end, or maybe it'll be like a lead into Secret Wars. But yeah, for sure we're going to see him in Secret Wars. I don't think we're going to see him in Doomsday. But yeah, that's as far as I can speculate there. Where do you see future Spider-Man movies?
Just like how many I think there will be, or just like where he's going to be in next film?
Anything, yeah. Whatever.
I think we're going to have. I think it's going to be a lot about his relationships, definitely. You know, all the Spider-Man's always been about him wanting to protect his family, and that he does everything to protect his family, his community. And now that's all gone. Like, and he tried to get it back. This Brand New Day, but it didn't work. So now he's going to have to find his own path.
Yeah.
He's going to have to find what he wants to do in the future.
Well, it ended.
And will MJ ever come back to him?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right. I do like that it ended on a really happy note of him and Ned finally doing the handshake.
Me too. Yeah,
that was such a hopeful, heartwarming moment. Yes, I'm there with you. I hope we stay with these characters and they develop their relationships further. I probably because it's Hollywood, MJ and Peter Parker are gonna end up together again, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really hope we get Kingpin. That's gonna be a classic Spider-Man villain. I don't know if they're gonna do a Green Goblin again, and it would be like a new MCU, like younger. They probably would have to cast like a new Harry Osborn, and Norman's the father, right? And Harry is the son. Okay, so yeah, they probably have to recast those people, but yeah, we'll see the features. I know Tom Holland wants. I don't know what his contract situation was. I know after No Way Home, his contract was up. He had a 6-picture deal. He has to do 3 standalone Spider-Man movies and then 3 Marvel Studios Avengers films. So I don't know what his contract is like now. But I think he took a really long break in between No Way Home and this movie. So I think he got a good breather, right? So probably would be good for him to rejuvenate his interest in the character further, which is good because we all love Tom Holland as Spider-Man,
Yeah, he's really great, and it's so wonderful, like his on-screen chemistry with Zendaya because they are a real-life couple.
Oh, right, yeah, exactly. We both forgot to mention that. Yeah, their chemistry is incredible in the movies, so that's definitely something to look forward to in future movies. And I want to thank you, Amber, for being my guest on this special Spider-Man Top 5 episode. Hopefully, I don't want to end on a dour note, but Steven was a close friend of both of ours, and we miss him greatly. And every time I watch a Marvel movie, I think of him and hope he's watching with me. But it's so lovely to talk to one of his old friends, and I just want to thank you again, Amber.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a really fun talk. Just to talk about movies and Spider-Man and whatnot.
Absolutely, and I would love to, if you're interested at all in future episodes, please let me know. We can maybe talk about Freakier Friday. I know you're a huge fan of that series.
Well, that was just something that I recently watched. It's not like my favorite series. That was just today's agenda movie.
Okay,
I watched Odyssey too, and and I've seen a lot of movies.
I was half teasing you. Are you looking forward to the new Ridley Scott film, Dog Stars? I think with Jacob Elordi.
I look forward to all Ridley Scott films.
Yeah, you have a bias for him, right?
Yes, I have a bias. My boyfriend gets so embarrassed when I cheer for people that I recognize.
Do you want to reveal how you?
I'll probably go see it. So
okay.
I'm not overly excited for it. I wish, God, so he got the rights to Forever War when I was working there, and I really want him to make Forever War, and he worked so hard to get the rights for so many years, and I haven't heard anything on it at all, and I'm really, really disappointed. I remember when I was working there, and my dad was still alive. I was on winter break. My dad goes, "You got to talk to Ridley about the film," and I was like, "Well, Ridley's I'm an intern. Ridley's not going to listen to me, But sure, Dad, I'll listen to what you said." And he goes, "It's my favorite book ever. You got to talk to him about this book called Forever War." I said, "Dad, he literally just got the rights to that book months ago."
Yeah.
And and that was back in 2009, and so I see that I'm sure Dog Stars is going to be good, but it's just where's Forever War,
Okay.
I also wish he had continued Raised by Wolves.
Oh yeah, the HBO show, yeah. That was a good show. I enjoyed it. It's so cool that your
Yeah.
dad was on a first name basis with Sir Ridley Scott. That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
no, no, no. He was just, I was, he was just telling me what I should talk to Ridley about.
Okay.
He was
That's
he was on a first name basis. That was
okay.
us talking at my house, you know.
Yeah, I was teasing you, but thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should be calling him like Sir Scott or whatnot, you know.
Right. I'm still waiting for the Prometheus sequel or the Alien Covenant sequel because I really like both of those movies, but I guess they're doing fine on their own with the Alien Romulus and Alien Earth now, so they left Sir Ridley Scott behind on that franchise, right?
I mean, kind of, you know, like, I mean, did he do any of Romulus? I can't remember
No,
if he was
I
involved
think
in that
if
or not.
anything, he was like a name producer, but I don't think he had
Yeah.
anything to do with Romulus. It was Fede Alvarez, the horror director, Evil Dead, and all those great. Yeah, he's a great horror director, Fede Alvarez. But yeah, I'm sure.
I did like Romulus, but I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, Dark Horse is really involved in those and has a lot of
Oh, yeah, yeah,
IP
yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to the xenomorphs and whatnot.
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Well, I'm
So,
sure we'll find something to talk about, hopefully in the future. But um, if anything, Doomsday, right? At the very least, we can talk about that
yeah, I'm
when that
really
comes out.
interested to see Robert Downey Jr. in that role. You know?
Yes, yes.
I thought they were gonna do like a thing where like, in an alternative universe, Tony Stark became evil and became Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel has so far said that that is not the case. But maybe they're trying to give us a red herring, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't on fully on board with him as Doom when it was announced, but I feel like at the very least it's getting people talking, and it's keeping the conversation going for a whole year.
Hmm.
So I think that was
Hmm.
probably the marketing ploy there, and it's working. So we're talking about it, right? So
Yeah, and that's marketing matters so much. There's so many movies that have come out that have been good, and I'm just like I didn't even hear about it because the marketing is just so bad, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Good point. Well, I thank you again, Amber, and you guys can listen to past episodes on YouTube. Just type in Pretentious Cinephile 1982. Got some new stuff on the Pinterest. Just type in Pretentious Cinephile 1982. I know it's a word. It's a mouthful there. Thank thank you again, Amber.
So, thank you. It was so good to talk to you.
Yeah, so good to talk to you too. All right, see you guys. Bye.